All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the mentality of the fans, about how this fight was going to go down, and actually just about the fight itself, the Cerrone and McGregor fight. You know, when it was first announced, the people, everyone, it was everyone. That obviously the UFC, it's bad for the UFC if Conor McGregor loses. The dude, the business that he brings to UFC, especially when he's winning, especially when he has people behind him, um, is just, the numbers are just totally different than anybody else. So, you know, so naturally everyone thought that when they did announce this fight, and they chose Donald Cerrone to be McGregor's opponent, um, everyone, mostly even me, I thought, like, what is this? Um, everyone thought it was a tune-up fight. It was just an easy fight for Conor McGregor to get a quick win out the way, and then move on to more bigger names. And because if McGregor came back against a real name, it would have made money. But at the same time, Conor McGregor might lose again, and then it's just this was a big fight for McGregor. Not just winning, but winning in the way that he did. But so yeah, the general consensus was that this was an easy fight, and a lot of people thought it was gonna go down how it did. But as the fight came closer, and ESPN and the UFC started releasing all these interviews, we kept hearing that from Dana. I can't even count the amount of times that Dana was talking about how people are underestimating Donald Cerrone, most winningest fighter. He has all these records. Um, uh, you know, and then a lot of people we hear, ESPN and all these people that and McGregor fight week did a lot of interviews trying to not a lot, but he did. In the media, we heard a lot about how a lot of people are, um, underestimating Donald Cerrone in the fight. And McGregor was selling his fight too, talking about how he really respects Donald Cerrone. He appreciates that he's a family man, and he picked all these reasons for fighting Donald Cerrone that has really nothing to do with fighting. And then he goes, that in this point in time in his career, that's important to him. But I don't know. But the narrative that I myself believed was that, um, instead of a tune-up fight, it was a more realistic fight for Conor McGregor. He lost. He hasn't been. It's a realistic fight. He lost to Khabib, right? He's not gonna fight. Just in case he's a title contender. He's next for the title. I'll make another video on what's next for Conor McGregor after what's next for Conor McGregor going forward. But um, Justin Gaethje, man, he's a winning. Well, I mean, obviously, obviously everyone wants to fight Conor McGregor, right? But if you want to go by the rankings, Justin Gaethje, he deserves a title shot, right? Um, so if you put Conor McGregor against a name like that, it puts McGregor out of jeopardy. He doesn't have that high of a chance to win anymore. Um, so it's a more realistic fight for him. It's a realistic fight. And it's a business move at the end of the day. But it's a more real. He's not. He came off a loss. He's not gonna fight somebody with an undefeated streak. He's not gonna come back and fight Tony Ferguson. He's not gonna fight. He's definitely not gonna fight Khabib. He's not gonna fight Justin Gaethje, who's been on a tear lately. And Donald Cerrone, he's the top. He's the highest. He was the highest contender. I thought Dustin Poirier made sense too. The rematch. I thought that made a lot of sense for him. But I don't know where Dustin Poirier is his headspace right now. Um, after the loss. But um, I thought that one made sense. But Donald Cerrone was pretty much the highest contender, the highest level fighter in the division that came off a loss. So that's narrative that I bought. Um, and especially and I bought into it, and then all this media and stuff, it got me thinking. In the beginning, I really was thinking that McGregor was gonna knock him out right away, like especially Donald Cerrone's first performance. I mean, not for first performance, his performance right before, just with Justin Gaethje. I thought it was gonna be very similar, but I thought McGregor has more power than Gaethje, so I think McGregor could have got it done a lot quicker. So that was my. I really thought that was gonna happen when the fight was first announced. I was pretty disappointed, but as the fight, so that was the mindset of the fans. I believe when the fight was first announced, up until like 2 days before the fight. Then the hype actually started building up. McGregor, the return of McGregor. Um, and when the weigh-ins happened, then it became official. The weigh-ins, every fight, it can be announced all it wants, but until the weigh-in happens, everyone knows that until the weigh-in happens, the fight is not on. Even until, not even the weigh-ins, it's up until they actually get into the octagon. You never know what's gonna happen, man. Um, so yeah, what was I on about? Yeah, so when the weigh-ins happened and I saw them come face to face, then I was like, yo, this is actual fight. And then I was just watching a lot of the media um, that was coming out at the time, just talking about how this is actually like it is more of a competitive fight. So I bought into it, I changed my prediction to 2 rounds, late second round that McGregor would take him out. Um, and now, so the mindset of the fans in the beginning till right before the fight, and then after the fight, it didn't go back to the original. He did get knocked out in the fashion that he did, but people are still not. People are still shocked. Like, it's crazy how that impact, like the impact that those interviews and stuff had on people. Like, people are not, when the knockout happened, people were shocked. They were like, "Oh shoot, great performance by Conor McGregor." But in reality, a lot of people thought that before all this media and for the fight. I like, to me myself. I wasn't shocked at all, but a lot of people were very shocked in how it went down. Um, and now after the fight, everyone's soaking it in a little bit and talking about how impressive Conor McGregor was against Donald Cerrone. He took him out real quick, the shoulder strikes, all that. Um, but I don't know. I still think that we haven't seen a lot out of Conor McGregor. I still want to see how he reacts when he gets hit. You know, um, he does have a chin, but I still want to see if he's really back. If I can't tell if he's really back until I actually see him get hit with the real punch. From someone that actually poses a threat to him. So I really just thought that was a little bit interesting in this whole situation right now in the MMA community. Um, so yeah, that's just what I thought. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, man.